Hello and welcome to this edition of True Story for Business. Joining me today is Aaron. Aaron is from I9 Sports, and he's doing some great work. I had a little conversation with him before the show, and I'm super excited for you all to meet him and get to know what he's doing. And so just tell us a little bit about I9 Sports and yourself.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I9 Sports, it's a national franchise. It's been around about 15 years now, I think they're going on. So it's nationwide. There's, I think, a little over 150 around the nation. There's 3 franchises here in the Valley. I started about 6 years ago with one territory in North Phoenix. So we had one location. We started out with about 150 kids, and now we've since grown to an additional territory, which is on the south side of Phoenix, which encompasses Avondale, Tempe, Levine, and Ahwatukee, and we're doing about roughly 2,200 kids, during our busy seasons now. So it's grown, pretty significantly over the last 6 years.
Yeah, I mean that's almost 20 times. So that's
Yeah.
that's pretty amazing. Like I pray for that kind of growth around here.
Yeah.
No, that's really really good.
Thank you.
Well, first I'll ask you how you got into this business, like what brought you into the business, and then I want to cover like all the sports that you cover, because we were talking earlier, and man, like it's a lot of sports.
Yeah, we do a lot. Yeah, it's never would I've dreamed I'd be in this business. I grew up playing sports. I like sports. I'm not a huge guy who watches sports on TV and stuff like that. I'm more of an active guy who likes to be out playing sports. So that was, or my dad and my brother were always, watching on the TV. I was out there playing it and just wanted to be involved and go shoot a basketball and pretty active. So never would I thought I'd be here. But my career path was in the movie industry, actually. So I native here in Phoenix. I'm born and raised in Scottsdale. I went to U of A to go to film school. They had a digital arts program at the time that was starting out that I was really interested in. Throughout my high school and things like that, I always just had a fascination for the behind the scenes of movies, and I wanted to, play with cameras, and I was really getting involved into production work, post-production work. So I pursued that career at U of A. I had a major in media arts and a minor in business. And after I graduated from U of A, I felt like I needed a little bit more schooling, so I decided to move to San Francisco and go to an animation school out there called Expressions. And I was there for about 6 months and decided, I was kind of testing out of the classes because I already learned so much in high school and community college while I was still in high school taking those classes. I just decided to get a job in the industry and see what happened. And so I left the animation school and got my first job as a production assistant for a small visual effects company called The Orphanage in the city in San Francisco. Ended up working there about 9 years and kind of worked my way up from production assistant to a producer. So I was 25 years old, as a visual effects producer on films like Sin City and Grindhouse, Thor,
Wow.
Some big motion pictures.
That is big, yeah.
And so I did that, another few years in the industry. I moved around a little bit. I worked on Tron Legacy out in San Francisco.
Love that movie.
Yeah, it's great.
Love that movie.
Yeah, and then ended up getting a job with DreamWorks Animation, and the position was actually for an associate, a line producer position in India. So I moved my family out to Bangalore, India. So we lived there for about 2 years, working on the Penguins of Madagascar. And before that was I did some work on Rise of the Guardians there. So they had a small studio there, about 400 people, that I was kind of in charge of, everything that was being produced there. And after that stint, they, were thinking about opening up a China division, and they were working on the Kung Fu 3 Panda series. And didn't have any interest in moving to China after India. We liked India. We got to travel a lot and meet a lot of cool people.
Crowded.
Very crowded.
Very crowded. Yeah.
Very crowded. But great culture, and never look back on that experience. But it was either okay, move to China, or you may not have a job back in the U.S. And I was just kind of at that time, my son was 3, living in India, And so, I'm like, what do we want to do? I feel like this might be the end of the road here, because the visual effects industry in general, it's they call them pixel gypsies. They kind of just bounce around from place to place, country to country, working on the next project. And it's not conducive to raising kids in a family.
No, I imagine not.
Just decided it's time to get grounded and be grounded and look for opportunities. So I was exploring with the idea of opening up a business. I'm a producer, by trade, so it kind of translate in a business world to a lot of different opportunities. So I was looking at purchasing existing businesses or starting my own business, and then I found, the franchising options and started looking into different things like that. And I just kind of thought to myself, what do I want to do? If I can clean the slate, start over, what are the things that interest me? So I really like animals. I grew up with pets, so I was looking at dog, grooming or training or boarding places, things like that. And then I also said, we have kids now, so that's going to be my life, for the next eternity.
Right.
So let's look at businesses that involve kids, and maybe the kids can get a part of it and build around that. So that's what I did. I found I9 Sports, and I flew out to Tampa, Florida, which is where their headquarters out, and did our discovery day. And I talked to a bunch of people that own the business and really liked what they had to say. They left the corporate world too, and had a great schedule, and it's just a weekend thing, so they can make the time for the family, but also have a business. We don't need an office building, so the overhead was low. The risk was pretty low getting into it. So I said, why not try it out? So, that was, it was July 2013. So 6 years now going on that we've had it.
Well, you're clearly very successful at it.
Thank you.
20 times growth over 6 years. That's very, very successful.
Thanks. Yeah.
So, like we were talking earlier before we started the cameras, and you were telling me about all the sports that you have. So just kind of tell everybody like all the sports, and then what I found very interesting with all those sports is you're kind of doing them all simultaneously, which I thought is phenomenal for especially a large family like my family. There's a lot of kids. Like I had a lot of kids. I reproduce a lot. We're gonna have another kid. Oh, my goodness. So awesome. I'll be at 5 here soon.
Thank you for keeping me in business.
But it's so amazing, like the choices that are given to a family.
Yeah, and that's the great part about I9 Sports as a business model. It really caters to multiple families. We're not at all, the competitive win-at-all-cost league. We're an entry-level recreational program. We do have, our ages are 3 to 14, so we do expand the whole gamut. And we have certain divisions, Pee-wee, junior, senior, so there's opportunities to grow. You don't just play when you're 3 years old and then you don't forget about I9. We've had kids age out of the program, since early ages, and have played multiple seasons. I think my son's, he just turned 9. He's going on his 17th season with us. Started out in soccer, really liked that, but then he's tried basketball, and he's trying flag football out this season. So, at any one of our bigger locations, let's say, Esperanza Elementary School, which is our first location. We opened the winter season of 2014. We have now 8 sports. So we have flag football, soccer, basketball, lacrosse, cheerleading, t-ball, coach pitch, baseball, volleyball, and we're introducing street hockey. We partner with the Coyotes for the season, and really excited to be launching our first season of street hockey out there.
I gotta tell you, I'm excited that you have lacrosse. Like, I'm from New York.
There you go.
And I went to school at University at Albany, which is a huge lacrosse school.
Yeah.
Like, huge.
Yeah.
Like, it's Division I, and, like, we win every year.
Yeah. Yeah, it is the fastest growing sport right now, believe it or not. And
it's a brutal sport. It is.
Yeah, it is. We're trying to grow it. There's a few leagues out there
at the college level. I'm not trying to scare parents. At the college level, it's a brutal sport.
Right.
I'm sure you guys are safety conscious. You're playing flag football, which also is amazing because, like, why put your young child through a tackle program? Like, just save the tackle for later. Flag football works perfectly.
Exactly, and that's where the NFL stance is now. I mean, they're promoting flag football. They're kind of shying kids away from tackle football. I mean, it
makes sense. I mean, there's no point in getting a concussion if you don't have to.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and it happens very easily, believe it or not.
Especially in a little brain,
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, I took you off topic there. So you
Yeah,
were
let's
telling
talk
us
about-
about the great sports that you
Just
offer.
yeah, I mean, and that's the beauty of it. You know, with families of multiple kids, you know, Johnny can be doing baseball from 9 to 10 o'clock. You know, and then his brother Jimmy can be doing basketball from 9 to 10 o'clock. You know, meanwhile his sister, you know, Tracy is over there doing cheerleading from 9 to 10 o'clock. So it's very convenient for families of multiples to get all the sports done. It's one day a week. We do a practice and a game on the same day. There's no midweek practices, so it's very conducive to families that are both parents are working and they don't have time to schlep Johnny to baseball and
Right.
her to dance, and so it's
Well, that's exactly why you sold me. Like that's the first thing when you started to say like we condense it all into this one area and
Right.
you know simultaneously run. It's like oh my god,
yeah.
perfect, like perfect. Because
And
I'm
again,
super busy,
right,
You know,
exactly.
but I want the kids to do these
And
things.
most people are, and that's the beauty of our program. And we're not, you know, we're not going to turn Johnny into be the next, you know, professional athlete, but we're giving him opportunity to play. There's no tryouts. It's
Yeah,
equal playing
exercise.
time. Yeah, exactly. He's
You're
getting
getting your
active.
play 60.
Yep, you bet.
That's
Absolutely.
what the NFL's pushing, right?
Exactly. He's getting it. So that's the thing. You know, we don't pride ourselves on, you know, competition. You know, it's a place to play and have fun. That's the main thing. You know, most kids, you know, they drop out of sports by the age of 12 because they're not having fun. It's too much pressure from parents, coaches, and on themselves, and they're just giving up. They're just
Well, plus it's a lot of work, right? So you got practice every single day.
yeah.
Like I played in high school and I played a little bit in college, and yeah, it's just a lot of work.
It's a brutal
It's
schedule.
a lot of work for a kid,
Yeah,
you know.
it's a job, and they don't. Need
It
a job.
is. No, it is, and that's why this is so great because you're taking all the stress away from both parent and kid.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
it could just be a family experience,
That's-
and it
that's
doesn't
what I
have to
try to-
hurt.
Yep.
You know.
That's
I
it.
love it. I love it. How this is not for the masses, but I'm sure somebody out there's got the same question. How young do you start your cheerleading program? Because I have a 6-year-old
Yeah,
that would just love that.
Age 3. Age
Really?
3. Yeah. So 3 years old, we start. That's the entry level. We start cheerleading, soccer, and t-ball. Once they turn 4, they can go do basketball, flag football. Once they turn 5, they could do lacrosse, street hockey. When they turn 7, they can do volleyball. So it's definitely appeals to a lot of families, especially the eager ones where, you know, they're
Oh.
just looking for stuff to do for their kid.
I gotta tell you, I've known you all of maybe 40 minutes now, and I'm sold. I'm planning on bringing both of my my younger ones in.
Cool.
I have a softball dynamo, but
Nice.
she's too old for your program.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah,
Well, she can be a
she's
volunteer
driving
coach.
already.
Well, that's the thing. That's the beauty of it. We're starting to see kids now that have played I-9 sports that they're past the age of 14, but they still want to be involved. You know, they might not make the school team or have interest in playing on the school team, but they love working with kids, being around kids. They can be a volunteer coach with us, and we're also hiring, you know, a lot of part-time, you know, employees to coach, to referee. To be a part of the program. So high school kids, I mean, we're going around town right now with our flyers, putting them up at all the high schools and saying, you know, if you're looking for part-time work on a Saturday for 4 hours and want to get paid, you know, $12 to $18 an hour.
Yeah, come coach. Come coach the
work.
little ones.
That's it.
That's good on a resume
Give
too. It's
back
good
to
on
them.
a college resume.
You bet. I mean, volunteer hours for sure. Most high schools need it. They, you know, need the hours, but why not get paid for something you love to do anyway?
Right. No, that makes sense. Well, I got to tell you, well, I'm going to tell everybody else out here, too. So everybody that's within my audience knows my boy, because my boy is like, he tests everything for me. He
That's
tests
cool.
that microphone before you got here.
Nice.
Like, that's what his job here is at True Story Studios. He's my stand-in and my tester.
Love it.
But he's homeschooled, obviously. Like, he's learning the business. But,
Yeah,
you know,
great.
he's homeschooled, and he has some health challenges.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, like he will never play in a school sport because he's homeschooled.
Right.
But he can definitely do this. So for all you parents out there that are homeschooling, like my Michael and Molly are going to be there. Like
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you which one we're going to because you know we got some stalkers, but Michael and Molly will be enrolled in this program.
Fantastic. We look forward to it. Yeah, yeah. It's a good opportunity for that socialization for all the homeschool parents that they don't get that. You know, it's a great place, and we really treat it as it's a family business. This is not a, you know, it's a national franchise, but we're all individual owners, and we care about the program. We care about the people that are running it. We care about the feedback that we get from the families every season that go into it. And, I got 2 boys. One's 9, just turned 9. The other one's turning 6, and they've been a part of it since age 3. So now they're at that age where they're starting to help me with packing up the coaches' bags and, sorting out the snacks and stuff for the concession stand.
It is always nice when your kids take interest in what you do.
You bet.
Like I get it a lot from the boy.
Yeah.
My older girls, not so much. My youngest girl, like, she'll come in here and sing on these microphones all day long, so she's into it. But it's so nice. And I don't know if you know this, but I know this just because I'm homeschooling. Like, Arizona is one of the best and easiest states to homeschool your child
I
in.
did not know that. Wow.
Like it is. I'm from New York originally.
Yep.
100 million hoops to jump through when
Wow.
you're in New York.
Wow.
Here, they pretty much they leave you alone. You
great.
got your testing at the end of every year. As long as they do good, hands off completely.
That's amazing.
So a lot of people here
Yeah.
in the state homeschool.
Yeah.
And this program for the homeschooler is just, it's so brilliant.
Right.
Like, if you're out there and you got a kid within the age bracket of 3 to 14,
Yep.
get out there and get involved in I-9 sports. Like, it's perfect. It's a couple hours of your Saturday.
That's it.
Whole
Yeah.
family can go at once. Like,
Right.
it's brilliant. It's really good.
Yeah. One of the other things I just wanted to mention, for everybody out there is we're a sports league. That's what we do. That's what we pride ourselves. But we also, again, being born and raised here, I like to give back to the community. And one of the things, if you check out our social media channels, on Facebook and Instagram, it's I9 Sports 311 or I9 Sports 210 on either Facebook or Instagram. You'll find us there. But we do a lot of community events. And that's something I really pride myself on. In addition to the sports league, is just giving back to the parents. So even if you don't play with us, but you want to, check out, you want to go to a Phoenix Rising game and walk out with the players. That's what we're going to be doing on October 13th for the last home game. So yeah, you buy tickets through us, and then you have the opportunity to walk out, with the players on the field. Come to the Coyotes game, get to high five the players as they walk out of the tunnel. Same thing with the Suns. We're doing some really nice discounted tickets with the Arizona Cardinals right now, so that's on our pages. ASU, we partner with them as well. We're going to be doing the big game this year, ASU U of A, so we'll have some nice discounted tickets. So just really cool things that you can be a part of even if you don't play with us just yet and you want to just kind of see what our community events are like.
Well, you sold me on the Suns. I'm a huge basketball fan.
There you go.
Huge. Like, I go to the games even though. And I say even though because I don't want to say the last word, which is,
Yes. It's a new year.
it's a new year.
Yeah,
that's a good way to put it.
We got some new talent. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's true. And LeBron's Lakers come to town twice a year, so
Yeah.
at least you get to see that.
Yeah, you bet. Absolutely.
The new Showtime Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the Lakers, by the way, but I love LeBron, so super torn on that move.
Oh, yeah.
Just to talk a little sports.
Yeah, for sure.
But, all right, so one of your questions is why is youth sports important in the world today? And it is 100% important. And we see it from the NFL. We see it from all professional sports, really, that are kind of this push to get your kids out and get moving because, we hit record numbers in obesity, diabetes, like things that could easily be solved with just a little bit more moving when you're younger.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's one of those things, obviously, it makes sense, obviously, from a physical standpoint to get your kids out and be active and get off of the game, iPads, all the devices.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about unplugging them, yeah.
Yeah.
These kids are plugged in all the time.
All the time. So, for at least, with our program once a week, that's all we're asking, just to get out there and get moving, get your body moving, get some exercise. Socialization is huge, again, for the homeschool families out there, but also just in general. It's our program. It's not like we play at one particular school. Let's say Sequoia Elementary School. You don't have to go to that school to be a part of the program. If you're in the age group of a 5 to 6 coach pitch baseball team with us, you're going to have 8 other kids on your team from different schools. So you're going to meet other people. Your families are going to meet other people, and there's a lot of networking, common ground, common interests that come out of these experiences that you get on the field. Just watching your kids play. And then the other thing that's really big, and this was kind of a shocking thing to me over the summer, we had our national convention out in Florida, and one of the guys from the head of the U.S. Olympic Committee training department came out and gave us a talk, and so I9 Sports has teamed up with the USA Olympic Committee and the Aspen Institute, this Project Play. We need more athletes because the majority of them are dropping out by the age of 12. So our future Olympians that are going to be competing in the 2028 Olympics, we don't have them right now. So we really want to encourage kids to play sports, to not focus on an individual sport. I mean, you might be a diehard football fan, but please let your kid play baseball and basketball and try lacrosse. I mean, don't specialize in a single sport until you're past the age of 12, because there's no scholarships going to be awarded out to an 8th grader,
right,
or a 5th grader. So there's no point.
Well, plus some people are just pure athletes. I mean, you see it all the time where you have kids in college playing multiple sports.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, that's super important. I mean, that's what the U.S. Olympic Committee is really pushing on, age appropriate programming for each kid, and also the multi sport approach, and just trying everything, because it develops different muscles, different coordination levels. So it's really important for your body to grow and learn by playing different sports, as opposed to just focusing on one, because that's how injuries occur, really.
Well, I can see it. It's like your wide receivers and your running backs taking dance lessons.
That's
right. It just makes sense.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
And the later you can be on your feet, the better you're going to be at your job.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, you might as well start that young.
Yep, definitely.
And then I imagine just from I'm retired military, so discipline's kind of like a big thing for me. Sports will give you that.
You bet.
And it gives you a nice little routine too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And routine is like key for kids.
Oh,
it just
goodness.
is.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. From getting up in the morning and putting on your shin guards and just getting to the field, and getting an organized practice where it's drills and everyone's following the same order. That's what you need for sure.
Well, I got to tell you, you got me sold. I'm going to be out there shouting loud for I-9.
Fantastic.
Because I'm definitely going to bring my 2 younger kids. My oldest is in New York, being a doctor. But,
very cool. That's awesome. Good for her.
Oh my God, she's so impressive.
That's amazing.
Kids are just like, well, she's not a kid anymore.
Yeah.
She's a woman, but she's 24.
Wow. Good for her. That's amazing.
It is, yeah. I joke with her all the time that I can't afford to send her brother and sisters to college now, but it'll all work out. I'm sure she'll pay for it.
Exactly. Absolutely. Yeah.
But this it's not on here, and I know, like, it's an uncomfortable thing to talk money, right?
Yeah.
So, but let's be uncomfortable for a minute. Because I looked, and I got to tell you, it looks pretty inexpensive.
Yeah.
So what's the deal here? You come in and you're paying how much to get into the season?
Yeah. So it's very affordable. I mean, sure, there's city leagues out there that half of what we pay, we charge, but it's depending on when you sign up. We have a multi-tiered, registration approach. We try to encourage people to sign up early and save money, but the majority wait till after the deadline and sign up and pay the late fees. But you can start our program for $119 for a 7-week season. It's, again, that includes your uniform. That includes a couple of medals that you get. We're big on sportsmanship, so we award out sportsmanship medals.
It's less than $20 a week.
Yeah.
Like, you can't go to the play center for that every week.
Exactly.
Yeah. You can't go bowling for that every week,
Right.
for instance.
Yeah. And that's it. So.
Yeah. That's I already knew that because I was on your stuff, but I wanted everybody else to know that because it's very inexpensive, and you'll spend that for one day at an amusement park per kid, right? So why not spend that on a
7 week
of fun, of social interaction, of character building,
that's
of
huge.
Development, because that's what you're really paying for. You're paying for the further development of your child, and this kind of stuff is exactly the stuff that keeps them in their teenagers grounded, keeps them real, keeps them from going off and doing stupid stuff.
Right, because they're exposed to so many things, and they're introduced to other kids,
and they're given discipline, and they're given social skills, and that's nothing to pay for what you're getting out of it. Like, that's literally nothing to pay for what you're getting out of it.
I'm happy you concur with that, because
Oh, for sure. Like, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, and the other thing is we do offer sibling discounts. So obviously with families of multiples, it gets expensive. So we do it's an automatic $10 discount for every second child that you enroll with us. We have a refer a friend program. So if you refer a friend, you can get a $10 credit.
You're gonna have to give me a code because I'm gonna refer a lot of people.
All right. Yeah, you'll get it. You'll get it. You'll play for free just by referral bonuses.
I'm just going through my list of friends that have kids. And quite a few of my friends homeschool as well.
Cool.
So like, it's brilliant. I'm going to be on the phone later today. Like, hey,
That's awesome.
let's get Ben in this. Let's get John in this.
Yeah, so
Who wants to play with Junior at this I9 Sports?
Very cool. Yeah, our fall season starting up as soon as September 14 for our Tempe and Ahwatukee sites, September 21st for some of the North Phoenix sites, and the 29th for some of the Glendale and the Avondale sites as well. So, but we run 4 seasons a year: fall, winter, spring, summer. So we're pretty much a year-round program.
Imagine winter's crowded, huh? With as cool as it gets here.
Yeah,
like, I imagine a lot of parents want to do that.
Yeah, fall is usually our biggest season, just because everyone's back to school. They're anxious to get their kid involved or something.
I can see that.
Winter dips down a little bit, but yeah, it's still a big season. And then spring, kind of fluctuates as well. Summer we drop down. Obviously, everyone gets out of here.
Everybody drops in the summer.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, business is everything.
Yeah.
Everything just kind of slows right down.
Yeah, that heat, it drains you.
It does. It really does. Yeah. Just even when you walk to your car, it's like, whew.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we've been talking for quite a little bit here now, and I think people understand this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Why should parents go with I9 Sports over, say, a city league?
Yeah, I mean, just like anything, there's lots of choices. We're not saying we're the best of everything, but again, it's what we cater to. It's what we appeal to. So our core values is fun, safety, convenience. So really, if you're looking for any of those 3 core values, then we're the right choice.
And you should be looking for all 3 of them, and they're right here. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, we're not the win at all costs. Crazy competition. I need to play 16 teams and win the trophy and travel to New Mexico for the tournaments. We're not that at all. We're also not the city league that you may not have a coach that shows up that day, and then if there's no coach that shows up, there's no practice, there's no game, everyone goes home. As I mentioned earlier, we do have staff, employees there that are there for the practice and the game. So if your volunteer coach for some reason falls sick or has a car breakdown, on the way to practice, our staff will step in and coach the kids' teams. It's not send everybody home, no game, it's canceled today. It's we're playing because everyone else came out and the coach is not here. So our staff will take over and we'll coach it. So that's another kind of value add insurance piece. You pay a little bit more for that, but then, we can ensure that there'll be a coach every week, and we look for people that obviously have sports experience, hopefully have coached before as well, and can teach some fundamentals to the kids.
You're charging less than $20 a week. Like I trying to math it out. I think it comes to like $18.25 or something like that.
Exactly.
But it's a no-brainer.
Yeah,
like, it's a no-brainer for me anyway, and everybody that I'm about to shout this at
right.
in my circle is going to be like, oh yeah, well that's really inexpensive for what
Cool.
you get.
Yeah.
So, so here's what I think of why. I think you choose I9 Sports because of the value. Like you're not. Where else for that amount of money are you getting the ability to bring your whole family, multiple siblings, to one place for one amount of time, and just have them develop all those skills, the discipline, the social skills. And to have fun and to be active, this is a no-brainer, people. It really is. It's a no-brainer. You got kids between 3 and 14. Get them started early is what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
And then keep them going because it's so hard these days to find things to help develop your children. Like even school. Like all my girls go to, I'm not going to say a regular school, but they go to like a private school, and there's only so much they can do there.
Right.
Like even in the school I'm paying for, there's 25 kids in that class. There's one teacher.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like there's only so much they're going to learn there, and they may even pick up bad behaviors there. So how nice to have like this kind of wholesome environment where you have structure, you have coaches, they're really getting the best of what society has to offer in this scenario, over like what I would consider like, I don't know. Well, you said you played sports. Did you play sports in high school and college?
High school, yeah.
Okay, so like, did you have the coach? Like, my coach for basketball was the chief of police for my town, and he was a real jerk. Like, he was a real jerk. I remember I used to mess up drills, and he would take the basketball and huck it at me as hard as he could. Like, and just get me in the gut, get me in the side of the head. And,
man.
It wasn't just me. It was the whole team. That's kind of how we learned.
Yeah.
I mean, we got pretty good, but
yeah, exactly.
maybe that's not the environment for your kid.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That's pretty common. I hear still stories about, football coaches and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm talking about you, Mitch. One of my good friends is his son. And I constantly give Pat shit about it because,
awesome. You guys won the championship, though, right? Yeah.
We did all right. We lost in states, but we were running our little conference.
Nice.
But still, it wasn't worth it. The trade-off wasn't worth it. It was an abusive way to be coached, and that's still kind of what goes on.
It does. Yeah.
My middle daughter, she's 15, almost 16, driving. She was into softball for a while. And in 8th grade, they won the championship. So, they're all happy and they're all, proud. She goes to high school the next year. Coach is a massive bully. She quit.
Wow.
She's done. She doesn't play softball at all anymore.
That's the unfortunate reality of
it is.
the
It is
society.
for sure.
Yeah.
It is for sure. And something like this, it's just so. And I got to tell you, that school program, I probably spent more than what you're asking for.
I believe it. Yeah.
Because you constantly got to donate, and then you got to take the kids out after, and you got to do this, and you got to do that. I guarantee I spent more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
So,
yeah.
I mean, it's a great value. You're doing great things.
Yeah.
Very convenient.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Convenience, that's a big one. And I also just want to say, for the families that are considering, playing sports and maybe, the parents, mom or dad, have played sports at the high school or college level and really enjoy it, but find that in their busy day lives they don't get to do it anymore. I recommend, not only signing up for the program, but become a volunteer coach with us, because
I'm kind of thinking about it, honestly, because I would love to pass down all my basketball knowledge to some kids.
But it's also, and it's just, you get to present your style of coaching. You know what I mean? You can learn from your bad coach experiences and what not to do, and then also, just apply those values and encouragement, but still.
Well, I'm a former drill sergeant. I should not bring
that. You can definitely run drills. We're not saying don't run drills, but maybe not hucking the basketball at the stomach and the gut.
Yeah. Pass on that.
Parents might not like that one.
But seriously, like, it just seems like such a great program. Give everybody the website. It's easy to find, by the way. It's I9 Sports. It couldn't be easier to find, but give them the website anyway.
Yeah, so just like you said, www.i9sports.com. It's the letter I, number 9, sports.com. Yep, that's where you'll find us.
And they can get all the information for all your different campuses.
Yep. So
how many different schools are you at now?
So we have 13 different sites that we have. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, sometimes I wish I only had 6, like some of our other area developers.
Well, don't wish that. I mean, always go for more.
Yeah, it's good.
Bigger, better, better.
It's we're spread out, and that's a good thing for families because there is a convenient location.
So you must not be on every location, right?
I can't be.
Yeah, it'd be impossible. You'd be driving all day Saturday.
I wish I could clone myself 13 times, but that's just not going to happen. I've been working on that machine.
I was more thinking like 10 minutes here, drive here, 10 minutes there.
Yeah, even still. Yeah,
that's too much.
It's hard to touch it, but. Yeah, so if you just go online, the website, plug in your zip code, it's going to find the closest location to you, and then you'll be able to see the different sport offerings, and then you click on that and see the age division, the schedule, everything like that.
Oh, amazing.
Just register online. It's pretty easy.
So what are the future plans and goals of your version of I9 Sports?
Yeah, honestly, I think, just bringing awareness to the community about our programs is the main thing, I don't have any intentions of growing it more. We have maybe a couple locations that we could add up in the Cave Creek area. We're looking more like towards Anthem, expanding more out north. I think we're pretty covered. I know there's been a lot of talk about more west side growth, Tonopah, Buckeye.
West Side's about to explode.
Oh.
I live in the West Side, and the property values around my house are skyrocketing right now.
imagine.
We got Nike, who
Yeah.
just bought that $70 million complex.
Oh, my goodness.
And then, what was the other one that just moved in? Microsoft.
Yeah, they're building the digital city
Mhm.
out there. Yeah, so it's definitely there's room for growth. So that's a goal, a hope. To expand and just accommodate more areas. But yeah, I mean we're only tapping into like 1.5% of like the population right now. So there's a lot of room for growth. And I don't want to get it too big to the point where we can't handle it and it becomes disorganized and we have the negative feedback. I want to still maintain,
Right. That makes sense.
our values and the organization and all the things that we put, our best foot forward to put on a great experience for the families. So I want to make sure we maintain that. But still, there's definitely room to expand out there and get more coverage.
No, it's an amazing thing, and anything that's a positive influence for children is just amazing. Like there's just so many negative influences out there. To have you out there doing this work and bringing some positivity to and I'm sure some of your areas are areas that could use some positivity.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. It gives a definite positive outlook on things that could be going the direction for sure.
Well, my boy and my youngest girl are definitely going to be participating this fall.
Cool.
Like we're going to get them right in there. I'm going to go home tonight and I'm going to tell my 6-year-old that I found a spot for her to cheerlead in. She's going to lose her mind.
Oh, that's very cool.
Like she's going to lose her mind.
It's super cute. Yeah, it's.
Oh, I imagine it's got to be, right?
Yeah. We got all kinds of videos. So if you wanted to check it out, I9 Sports, go to YouTube and you'll see a lot of the cheer performances. I know I'm out there. I try to make a bunch of the closing days where they do their final performance, and I put that up on YouTube so people can see, and share it around. So.
Well, I got to tell you, anything my kids are involved in, you're going to have plenty of video of.
Right on. I love it.
Like you're not going to have to worry about bringing a camera. I'm bringing a whole crew.
Yes, nice. Look forward to it. It's great.
Oh, man. Well, it has been just an absolute pleasure meeting you and talking to you, and I hope everybody out there who has kids is going to look you up at least. I mean, at least go to the website and check it out. There are so few things that we can do for our kids now that are this positive. So just do it. Just get out there, check it out. If it's something that's for you, if it's in your area, like $119. What's $119 these days?
Yep.
It's like nothing. It's a pair of shoes. Like I think I paid more than that for my last pair of LeBrons.
Right?
So,
I'm sure you did.
I mean that's nothing. Go out, spend it on your kids, spend the time with your kids.
That's
It gives
it.
you time to spend with your kids in a family-oriented environment.
Yeah. They thrive in that environment. They really do.
I have no doubt.
It's just amazing to watch.
I have no doubt. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is
And
great.
tune in next time for True Story for Business as we talk to another business owner. For now, for me and Aaron, goodbye.